Well, thanks everybody for who was involved with this. We're excited. We've got more in the hopper. We've got a lot of other good stuff, and so we'll be processing those in the days ahead. But we're just excited to be putting up a lot of points on the board and basically saying said we were going to do a lot of things, and we did it. And that's the way it should be. Okay. Any questions back there? Yes.
A little bit more if CBDC and Title 42 will be things that you will discuss even further if you do decide to announce a presidential run.
Well, obviously, I mean, I would say the border should be shut down. I mean, this is ridiculous what's going on. You shut it down. You do need to construct a wall. I said, I mean, you guys saw us build those bridges. I'll send those people down to the southern border to build. I'll do that. We'll get it done. You also need to just have a policy. If you come across the border illegally, you get sent back. You don't get a notice to appear for a trial in 2 years. What kind of a deterrent is that? It doesn't work. We also have to come to terms with all the amount of fentanyl that's coming into our country because of this border. And who's doing it? It's these Mexican drug cartels. They need to be held accountable. We can't just let our people die. And then in terms of CBDC, obviously it should just be nixed in the executive branch. And what Biden did, just stop it and say, you know, we're not going to do that. So that's an easy thing to stop federally if you have an administration that's so inclined to do it. Okay, next. Yes, ma'am.
He said, if you were president today, what would your plan be at the border?
Well, it's just kind of what I said. We'd shut it down. We would not entertain any of these bogus asylum claims at the border. First of all, when you do an asylum claim, you're supposed to go to a port of entry. This is not break into the country, then claim asylum. That's not the way it works. You also have to apply for asylum in a safe country, your first safe country you get to. So if you have somebody crossing 5 countries to get to our southern border, that is not valid asylum. They would have had to have done that. So just rejecting that idea, having them wait in Mexico if they do have a potentially valid claim before that can be done, you're removing the incentives for them to want to come to begin with. They're coming now because Biden has told them anybody can come. And once you come, you know you're going to end up getting back. You also need to take all the people that came for Biden, and they do need to be sent back to their home country. There's no other way you can do this unless you're willing to send back. So you got to send back, and you've got to do that. And but I also think there are a lot of leverage points that the United States has vis-a-vis Mexico. You know, you have this Mexican president. He's criticizing Florida for enacting laws against illegal immigration. It's like he's got a disaster on his hands. He's got cartels that are totally out of control that are running his country. And all the millions of people coming into our country, they're all going through his country. I mean, what kind of a country just allows people by the millions to just traverse through like that? So I think that there's a lot of leverage points that can be used, and I think that they do need to do it. But, you know, that's a day one issue. I mean, you've got to be really, really determined. You can't let it slide. You can't make excuses. You got to go in, and you got to really go in with all guns blazing and using all the leverage that you have to be able to do it. It's important for the substantive issue of immigration is about what is in the best interest of the American people. No foreigner has a right to come to this country. You, as Americans, have a right to enact laws that provide whatever type of process you deem appropriate for that. But you can't have people coming in superseding the rule of law and just doing it on their own. And so that's something that's important to just validate that idea that we actually do, as Americans, control our immigration system. The other thing is, do you control the sovereignty of your country or not? I can guarantee you these other countries would not allow massive numbers of people to pour in illegally. I mean, they would put their foot down. And so clearly you should do that. It's also the policy about the types of people that are coming in. They're coming from all over the world because they know if you just get to that border, that's a ticket inside the interior of the United States. So you've got people, I mean, I went there when we had people down there helping Texas. You know, there were people from Libya. There were people from the Middle East. I mean, there were people from all over the place that were going there. We have no idea who the heck any of these people are. Some are criminal aliens. There's no question about that. I mean, Maduro has released people from prison to go to the border. I mean, we know some of those folks. So that's a problem. Obviously, the drugs are a problem. They're all major problems substantively, but I think it's also just a bigger issue than even that. This country doesn't get things right anymore. I mean, part of the thing with the hurricane when we responded, a lot of people here were very appreciative, but it was almost like it was unexpected that government could actually do a decent job at anything, and there's a lot of reasons for that. But I kind of think like if this happened like during World War II, we would have gotten the border secured in like 72 hours. It would have been done. There would have been no questions about any of this. And so we need a little bit of that can-do spirit. And that's, I mean, heck, with just these bridges. I mean, we could have twisted, you know, we could have wrung our hands, gone through the bureaucracy. We said, no, let's do it. And so we did it. And I think that's similar with the border. I think it'd be a big deal for the country to get that right. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Parlors popping up all over Southwest Florida. So I just want to ask do you have a problem with that, and are you seeing that being any alarming increases in?
So I am not privy to exactly what's been. As you know, we have a gaming commission now, and there's a lot of that is done that doesn't get to my desk. So basically, we have rules in place, and I think the goal is just to follow whatever those rules are. Of course, we did do a compact with the Seminole tribe. They had not been paying anything to the state. They have the most profitable casinos in America here, and so we were able to start getting hundreds of millions of dollars a year. That got held up in court. We think we're going to ultimately win that and then get those payments. They're in escrow. That'll be released. That'll actually help the budget surplus that we have. So you do. So, and then there's different rules about, okay, what can you do? What can you not do? So I think they just need to be enforced fairly and whatever it is. But I am not privy to exactly what action has been taken just because that enforcement is now being done, short of my office. Great to see everybody. We will be back soon. God bless you all.